Welcome to part 3 of 3-part Civil 3D Beginners video series. If you missed part 2, then click here to check it. If you want to learn Civil 3D right from scratch with a full-length project-based course, then click the link in the description of the video or pinned comment. With that, let's get started.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the plotting process and all the different things you need to do to get your plan sheets, your plan and profile sheets, and your cross sections done. Normally, just so you know, I do my plan and profiles in one drawing, I would do my plans in another drawing possibly, and I would do my cross sections in another file. But because of the size of this project, and just to do it in this tutorial, we'll do it all in one drawing, okay? Before I begin, let's take a look at what we have. So inside this file, what I have done is I've actually referenced in everything that I need. So I've got my proposed geometry, I have my existing geometry, etc. Okay. I also have my pipe network, which is data referenced in. You can tell by the fact that I can select that, and no grips appear. Okay. So I've got all the information that I need. The next thing to do is to create a view frame. We'll do plan and profile of this alignment, and we'll do plan of this alignment in dual sheets. And then we'll go ahead and do our cross sections. So to create plan and profile sheets, first right click on view frame groups and click create view frames. We'll go ahead and pick our alignment, Love's bypass, click next. Plan and profile, we'll go ahead and click the browse button. And what we're doing is we're browsing to our template, which is this path here, and it reads inside that file and it looks for special viewports within the layouts that have plan and profile associated to them. There's a special property that gets associated to a viewport that tells Civil 3D, hey, I'm a plan viewport or I'm a profile viewport, okay? And that's what we've done here is these layouts correspond to the scales we want to plot at. We're going to plot this job at 40 hors, 5 vert. We'll click OK. I want to set my first view frame 50 feet. That gives me some ability to say begin project notes and so on. We'll click next here. We'll go with the defaults here and click next. I want to allow it to snap to a specific nearest value of 10. That way it's not some arbitrary funny number. We do want to possibly reposition our match line, so we're going to do some overlapping. And then we have label styles ready to go. We'll click next here. We'll pick a default profile view style that we want to use, which is this one here. And then we'll pick a band set. We'll click create view frames. And as you can see, we have our first set of view frames in the drawing. Now, the great thing about Civil 3D is before you begin to create sheets, you can readjust this match line. If let's say it's not exactly where you want it to be, we could pick the grip here and simply move it around if you wanted to, all right? You can also pick your view frames and you'll notice these grips appear that allow you to reposition it along the alignment. So I can do it that way, wherever I want to, and I can pick this one here to rotate it. Okay, so that looks good. We're going to leave it as is. All right. Now I want to do these view frames as plan. So we'll right click here, create view frames. We'll pick the other alignment, US 129, click next. This is plans only. And we'll click the browse button here, make sure we're in the right folder. And I want to click the plan dual, which I have that file selected. And this is going to be a 40 scale. Click OK. Same thing here with 50 feet. Click next. Click next. Good to go there. And notice how we're not getting any profile options because, of course, there's no profiles being created. Create view frames, and you're done. We have 4 of those, which will be 2 sheets. Let's go ahead and create our sheets now. So before we begin to create our sheets, I'm going to press Control-4, which is Sheet Set Manager. Again, this is AutoCAD functionality. And, of course, Civil 3D is going to leverage Sheet Set Manager to populate our sheets properly. So I'll go ahead and open up my sheet set file, which is inside the project folder. And this sheet set file is already set and ready to go. If you're not familiar with Sheet Set Manager, I definitely recommend you take our AutoCAD course and understand how to use Sheet Set Manager because it is a fantastic functionality that is your one-stop shop for publishing. Okay? So we've got that Sheet Set Manager. Just so you know, you don't have to load it. I'm just showing it to you that it's already categorized. We'll go ahead and expand view frame groups, right-click on Love's bypass, and create sheets. Notice how we have options to put them in a new drawing, in one drawing, or in the current drawing. We'll go to the current drawing, and then we'll click on this little button right here because I want to make sure that our starting number is 1, and I also want to make sure the style is set to this. This way it goes in the right order. We'll click OK. Notice how it's finding our north arrow because it's already in those layouts. That's pretty cool. We'll click Next. We're going to add this to an existing sheet set. We're going to pick our sheet set file, which is a .dst file. We'll click Next. Now, I always recommend you go to Choose Settings and click on the Profile View wizard. You can split profile views if you have a steep profile. This is pretty flat, so we're good to go. We'll click Next. And then I scroll to the right here, and let's make sure we're labeling what needs to be labeled. The existing ground does not need to be labeled, so we'll make sure this is set to No Labels. Our proposed does, and it's using the right label set. We'll click Next. Do you want to add the drainage network? We can do that now, or we can do it afterwards. We'll do it afterwards. Click Next. For our data band, this is the finished grade and existing grade profiles, and we want to make sure that they're set properly. So in this case, for this project, the top band is the proposed. Click Next. We're not hatching anything. And then click Next. This is how you define the gap between the profile views. We'll click Finish here. Click Create Sheets. It wants to save the drawing. And of course, make sure you're putting these somewhere where there's no design or anything you want to plot. Because of course, this is the location of where the viewports are going to be. We'll do a quick little regen all, just REA. And as you can see, we've got our profiles done over here with the grid and everything. The layouts are down below here. And we're pretty much ready to go. This is the cool thing about Civil 3D and its dynamic modeling system. It gets you like 90% there, and then you're doing some minor tweaking. So I could do a quick little print preview to make sure everything looks good. Everything looks great. As you can see here, we're seeing our topo grayed out. Our proposed is looking good, and we have our proposed road in there with the contours. Notice how the bar scale is correct, and the north arrow rotates automatically. Pretty cool stuff. Of course, now what you would do is you would go into your model space within this viewport, and you would start to add station labels. So for instance, if I need to do a begin project, I would go into here, add labels. I'll do a quick little station offset, and I will snap to the intersection right here for the station, and there for the offset. Press Escape. That uses a default label style, and what of course I can do is simply go to my Properties palette and change this to a different label style. So here's a begin project. We'll pull this out. And as you can see, this has a nice little oblique angle in there. And now we've got something ready to go. Quick little print preview. And you would basically start adding your labels at important locations, such as where's the station offset for this flume or this flume, etc. But again, Civil 3D labels use the view's rotation. They automatically populate correctly. All right, let's go ahead and create our plan dual sheets here from the US 129, and we'll do this all in the same drawing. Click Next. We'll add this to an existing sheet set, and we'll double click it. And notice how there's no profile views because there's no profile views. It's just going to create the layouts for us. Let's go ahead and click on sheet number 2, and we'll reposition this one in the right order. And we'll click on sheet number 3, and reposition this as well in the right order. As you can see, here's our plan duo. If I do a quick little print preview, again, we're pretty much ready to go. North arrow is already rotated. We have the right bar scale, all set. It's really pretty fantastic the way this functionality works. Now, if we look at our sheet set manager, you'll notice that these are in their own subsets. All you have to do is simply drag them into your own subset that you want to, and then you can rename, renumber them, as well as remove the other subsets that are inside this sheet set file. So I'll right click here, remove subset, right click, remove subset. And again, because I'm leveraging sheet set manager functionality, my title block information populates automatically. That's really cool. So I'll hover over sheet set manager, right click here, rename, renumber. Let's say this sheet starts at number 5, and this will be plan and profile. I'll do a Control A, Control C. I always recommend you turn these two on. Press Enter. This will be number 6. Tab, Control V, Enter. Now I'm on the next one, which will be number 7. Tab, and this will be a plan sheet. Control A, Control C, and maybe I want to add US 129, right? Control A, Control C, Tab, press Enter. 8, Tab, Control V, Enter. Do a quick little regen all, and you get the idea. All this stuff is populating automatically because of Sheet Set Manager and its fields. That's pretty cool stuff, right? Okay, so now we have our plan and profiles and our plan sheets. And let's go ahead and get rid of this layout one. It doesn't get rid of the default one, so you should always want to make sure you kind of get rid of that and clean up your drawings. We'll go ahead and go to model space. Now let's say we want to create a set of cross sections just for this road here. And we want to start them at, let's say, 20200. So step one to doing so is to create something called sample lines. So let's go ahead and click on sample lines right here. Again, as I always say, when you don't know what to do, look to the command line window. Select an alignment or press enter to pick from the list. We want Love's bypass. Click OK here. It prompts you and says, hey, it says, what sections do you want to sample across your sample line group? And what styles should be applied to them? We'll click on the corridor section here because we want that one to have this style for the code set style. And for the proposed road, we want no display. The corridor model is all we need, but we do need the top surface to display the proposed grade line. And of course, we have our proposed drainage. Let's set this to a plottable layer. It's on non-plotting right now. We'll just type DR here, and that'll get us down. We'll just pick that layer, click OK, and click OK. Of course, I don't want to place these all manually. You don't have to do that. So click the little drop down here by range of stations. I want to start this at 20200. And let's say we want to do this every 50 feet. So we'll do this along curves and along tangents. Click OK, hit escape, and there are our sample lines. Now, before we cut our section views, always set your annotation scale to what you're going to plot at. This will help create and let you see the amount of sheets you're going to have. So to create your multiple views, you go to the Profile and Section Views panel in the Home tab, Section Views, create multiple views. This is the style that we want, but notice you can choose any one you want. We'll click Next here. We'll click Browse. This template has these two layouts, which have a special cross-section viewport that has the cross-section property associated to it. We want 11 by 17, and this will be a 10 scale. We're going to exaggerate it by 2. Click OK. This is my group plot style. Click Next. Automatic for all of this. Click Next. Make sure nothing is plotting for labels. I have nothing. And then for the data band, here's where you're going to define this. So surface 1 should be EG. Surface 2 should be the Love's Bypass road. But of course, this road is set to no display. It's just there for us to get elevations. We'll click Create Cross-Section Views. And again, make sure you're outside anywhere else you're going to plot. I'll go down below here. And here are our section views. Notice how, if I just do a quick little regen here, we're seeing existing ground. I'm not seeing the pipes, so I want to make sure some sections go across the pipes that are related. We'll select the section view, right-click, zoom to sample line. Notice how I have the ability to simply select my sample line. I'll pick this grip and I'll snap anywhere on there. This pipe, of course, is perpendicular to the road. And I'll select this one because it's close enough. And we'll do the same exact thing. I'll go ahead and now right-click, zoom to section view. Notice how it appears automatically. You might have to do some messing around with the corridor section to make this look pretty. If you look here, I've created some predefined code set styles that shut off the daylight. And then I will simply do a section view label, and I'll just snap from here to there, and I'll snap from here to my DBI, ditch bottom inlet. And then what I can do is, because I already have these styles in this drawing, I can go in here and choose slope right with line, because I want it to show a slope and not a grade. As you can see, this is still reading my corridor model, but you don't get that granular when it comes to modeling your structures and pipes. So this is good enough. But as you can see, that's very simple to change. Now, if I want to add labels to these, I can simply select the pipe network section and add network parts. I'll press spacebar to repeat the last command, click, spacebar, pick, and now I have the labels that I want for these. Of course, I would change these around to whatever label style I need them to be. So for instance, if let's say this one needs to be that label style there, as you can see, it's doing exactly what I want it to do. Now, I'm not getting any leader here, but I can drag the label around. This is a mitered end section using a specific standard, etc. Now, to create sheets for cross sections, you go to the Output tab of the ribbon and click Create Section Sheets. I want to add these to an existing sheet set. We'll browse to our sheet set file, create section sheets. Again, making sure I am on the right scale, I'll click OK here. As you can see in the bottom, the layouts are being generated. And now I can go over to my sheet set manager. I can also double click it right here. That activates the sheet. I'm going to go ahead and move these to their own subset. Oh, let's try that again. We'll drag it in there. There we go. And now I can right click here, remove subset. Now let's say these sheets begin at 20. I'll right click here, rename, renumber. We'll type 20, tab, and then Control A, Control C, enter. 21 tab, Control V, enter. 22 tab, Control V, enter. 23 tab, Control V, enter. And 24 tab, Control V, and that's it. And if I zoom in here, do a region all, as you can see, these are done. We'll do a quick little print preview. Again, these get you about 100% there almost, right? You're basically done because this reads the core to model. So anything that changes with the core to model will update the cross sections automatically. And of course, my section view labels here appear with the pipes and networks. I might have to add a little rectangle to show the top of the DBI because the structure didn't have it. Again, all good stuff, pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and save our drawing because now I am ready to plot. And this is the cool thing about Civil 3D working on top of AutoCAD. If you know AutoCAD, all you have to do is right click here, publish. As long as you have the right page setup managers defined, I can publish the PDF here. We'll go ahead and go to our plans and we'll just save it here. This will go through all the sheets and we'll go ahead and double click to open it up with your default PDF viewer. I happen to have Bluebeam. As you can see, I probably should have shut my sample lines off, but you get the idea. I could have just frozen those. And here are all my sheets with the cross sections ready to go, right? Very simple, really easy. Again, completely integrated with AutoCAD.
So that was our 3-part video series of Civil 3D. I hope this video series helped, and if you want to learn Civil 3D right from scratch with a step-by-step course, then I would highly recommend you check the course on SourceCAD. Link is in the description of the video and also in the pinned comment. So with that, take care and I hope to see you soon in the next video.